I was in elementary and middle and high school, to go to a classmate funeral was unheard of. Unheard of. Now it seems like these babies are putting their suits in every day, every weekend. Every weekend. This is a systemic problem that must be solved.
Yeah, we older, still lost, still fighting the same. School ain't feel like home, now we stuck in the game. System watching every move, already building a case. One wrong step, now we face to face. Juvenile system, now they say he a risk, but they never fix the start, now they blame him for this. Fast forward, now we locked in the cell. Same kid from the class, but they know him too well. From a desk to another, from a dream to a file, from a child with potential to a court case trial. And we act like a random, like it just took a turn. But it started in the classroom. Now the truth gotta...
Welcome everybody to the South Got Something to Say podcast, where the mic stay hot, the stories stay real, and the people that's you are front and center. Man, it's been some sad weekends around here. It's been some sad times around here. It's been some hurtful moments around here. And it ain't just here, it's everywhere. We're losing our kids to gun violence at a rapid rate. And a lot of people want to point the blame, and that ain't what we come here to do today. We ain't come to point no fingers at nobody, law enforcement, school system, or nothing. But I'm telling y'all, it's on us to disrupt this school to prison pipeline. It's on us. And thank everybody who come out to support the South Got Something to Say podcast, the Pipeline Project. This was created because there are conversations happening in schools, homes, churches, and communities that is too big to ignore. Every day we hear about students struggling academically, struggling with their behavior challenges. We hear about the mental health concerns. We hear about the violence in our community. We hear about students dropping out of school. We hear about young people becoming involved in the juvenile justice system. But what are we doing? What are we doing? And far too often these issues are discussed as if they don't exist. Because what if they're connected to a bigger system? What if they're connected to experiences and circumstances that influence the path that a young person reach long before they get to adulthood? So that's what this Pipeline Project about. This podcast exists to explore the challenges facing our youth and have honest conversation about the system that impact the student outcomes. This ain't about blaming schools. This ain't about blaming parents. This ain't about blaming law enforcement, which all three can do better. But this ain't about pointing fingers. This podcast is about understanding the issues and asking difficult questions and identifying real solutions. Because it's our job to help our young people succeed. But in order to do that, we have to be willing to have some uncomfortable conversations. We must be willing to have some conversations that nobody want to talk about. What are we doing? We got to tackle these topics. This school to prison pipeline, student discipline, trauma and mental health, youth violence, education opportunities, mentorship, family engagement, and most important, community accountability. We have to tackle these topics. We got to discuss what works and what doesn't work. Because obviously what we're doing now ain't working. Our kids are still disproportionately being suspended, expelled, and driven into a juvenile justice system. And most importantly, and most concerning, is they're dying. They died because of decisions. Not even thought out decisions. We got to discuss what we're going to do to make a difference. And no, this is not an easy podcast to have when you know these people, when you bury people, when you around people that love these people. And then you got to ask yourself, why? Why so young? A whole life to live, why so young? You got to have these uncomfortable conversations. In order to prevent it from keep happening, you got to have an important, uncomfortable conversation. What are we going to do to make a difference? As an educator, as an administrator, I had the opportunity to work with students from many different backgrounds. I've seen student overcome incredible obstacles. I see students who simply needed somebody to believe in them. I see students who needed guidance. I see students that needed support, structure, discipline, but most important, opportunity. But I also seen what happened when those supports are missing. I also seen what happened when the parental involvement ain't what it should be. I also see what happened when schools are not supportive as they should be, when they're more discipline-based, they're supportive-based. I done seen it. In the line of work, I done seen it. Because behind every statistic is a young person. Behind every suspension is a student. Behind every dropout is a story. Behind every arrest is a life that could have taken a different path. Behind every child we put in the ground is something that could have been done different. We don't want to be burying our babies. We want our babies to bury us. We don't want to bury our babies. We want our babies to bury us. And as uncomfortable as the conversation is, it's a conversation that need to be had. That should be had on a bigger platform, unless we plan to grow this platform. But somebody got to have a conversation. Somebody must have the conversation. So that's what we taking a closer look at the stories and the systems. We need educators, community leaders, parents, pastors, mentors, individuals who genuinely passionate about creating better outcomes for our young babies, for our itty bitties. This season is for parents. This is our time. It's for teachers. It's for coaches. It's for pastors. It's for law enforcement. It's for community leaders. But most importantly, it's for our babies. We need to have our babies sit down right here listening. We should stop everything and not let me talk, but have a community conversation. Anyone who believes our youth deserves a chance to succeed should want to have a serious conversation that can reach the masses. That's something you gotta want to do. You gotta choose what you entertain at this point. You gotta choose what you consume at this point on this social media space. You got to choose. If you got time for foolishness and our babies out there dying in the street, we going down the wrong road and we going down it fast. We got to choose what we consume. We got to choose what our babies are consuming. We got to see what they watching. We got to jumpstart a different algorithm for our babies. This one ain't working. When I was in elementary and middle and high school, to go to a classmate funeral was unheard of. Unheard of. Now it seems like these babies are putting their suits in every day, every weekend. every weekend. This is a systemic problem that must be solved. Ain't no help coming. Ain't no help coming. They can call in whoever they want to call in. Ain't no help coming. The only thing coming is more punitive, more discipline. But wait, who called in the support? Who called in the counselors? Who called in the therapists? Who called in the mental health consultants? Who called in them? You called in more punitive. Who called in somebody to get these guns out the street? And you think these folks out here trying to catch murder, they trying to catch anything they find. They focus on whatever's in front of them. Let's talk about it. You can call in whoever you want to. They out there getting out DUIs and looking for little simple drug busts. We need real help. We need mental health help. We need trauma-informed practice help. We need help with depression, anxiety, ADHD. We need real help. Our babies need real support. Our babies need real love. Not nobody else to come beat on them and penalize them. They being penalized in school. That's that school to prison pipeline I've been telling y'all about. That's that school to prison pipeline I've been telling y'all about. It's active right here in our community. And it's designed right here in our community. And we're watching it play out right here in our community every day. Because God, regardless of where we come from or what role we play, we all have a responsibility to help guide the next generation. That's what my hope is for this pipeline project. I want this to become more than a podcast. I hope it become a platform for awareness, a platform for education, a platform for accountability, and most important of all, a platform for solutions. I need y'all to stay engaged. I need y'all to leave comments. I need y'all to share your experiences. I need y'all to ask questions. I need y'all to become part of the conversation. We're not bearing our babies. Our babies supposed to bear us. But what are we consuming? What are we doing? What have we put in front of the security of our babies? What are we choosing? To make a social media post after the fact? Is that what we choosing, to make a social media post after the fact? No, we need to get involved now. We need to have preventive measures now. We need to ask questions now. We need to know where our babies at now. We need to know what they're doing now. We need to show them a different way now. We need to get them mental health help now. We need to do trauma-informed practices in school now. We don't got time. We don't have time. It is too rapid. We need to get these guns off the street now. They need to go. Because as we can see, a bullet don't care who it hit. You're talking about a man who spent 20 years in the military and had to qualify with a gun every year to stay in. Shooting ain't easy. It's one of the hardest things in the world to do. Shooting ain't easy. And you're talking to a trained military vet. Shooting ain't easy. That's how so many innocent people, innocent babies are dying. I told you the conversation was gonna be uncomfortable, but we gotta do something. We gotta do something, and we gotta do it right now. But we keep looking at the punitive portion of it instead of the supportive portion of it. Restorative circles, trauma-informed care, mentorship programs. Catching these babies before they fall, not waiting until they fall. And it starts in the home. But after the home, it starts in these schools as well. Our schools can't be the pipeline when all you see is punitive every time. No support, no structure. When I say each one, teach one, that's what we need to be doing for our babies. The itty bitties need it more now than ever. So if we are focused on our own entertainment, let's talk about it. We gotta keep it all the way 100. If we focus on our own entertainment, in opposed to the entertainment that our babies need, which is our support, our love, our encouragement, but we don't have time for our babies. Community don't have time for the babies. Churches don't have time for the babies. Schools don't have time for the babies. Law enforcement don't got time for the babies. Nobody got time for the babies, and you wonder what's wrong with the babies. They are screaming for our attention. They're crying out for our attention. We got to be willing to join the conversation with our kids, because change just don't happen when we stay silent. Change happens when communities come together and decide that our young people are worth the investment of time, the investment of money, the investment of love. That's when communities start to heal our babies. I'm excited about the conversations we have. I'm excited about getting people up here that know a lot more about this thing than me. I'm excited to get a law enforcement officer on here. I'm excited to get some educators and some administrators on here. I'm excited to get some pastors on here. But everybody too busy doing their thing, that we won't even support a platform that is trying to disrupt a school to prison pipeline that's real. The impact that we can make together, and it don't have to be my platform, it can be any platform, but the impact that we can make together can be so significant in this whole community. It can be so significant. Make sure you follow this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. Share it with somebody else who cares about the future of our itty bitties. We got to get the word out there. We got to get this platform out there, because we just getting started. We're going to do whatever it takes, whenever it takes, however it takes, to give the love and the support that our babies need. But we got time for everything else. But it's time to get out and support our babies in whatever they doing. It's time to get out in the community. It's time to get into these churches. Get our babies to church. Get our babies to Sunday school. Get our babies out these streets and Wednesday night. Get these baby to football practice. Get these baby to baseball and basketball camps. Get these babies active. Get the foolishness out their mind. Get them phones out their hand. Get them out them TVs where all this junk is what is fueling it. All this junk they watching and consuming all day. Change, switch up their algorithm. Make them watch some South Got Something to Say podcast. Make them watch it. Because at the end of the day, we got to get to solutions. Because whenever we talk about this school to prison pipeline, trauma, violence, educational challenges, it's easy to focus on everything that goes wrong. But this pipeline isn't just about identifying problems. The pipeline project that I'm doing is about finding solutions because our young people need solutions. They deserve more than being criticized all the time, being punished all the time, being told they're worthless, being told that they're YNs. They deserve better. It's time for real solutions. It's time for real opportunities because they deserve opportunities. They deserve support. They deserve structure. They deserve hope. So, what are these solutions you talk of, Melbo? First, we got to invest in our kids, y'all. We got to invest in relationships before we invest in punishment. We quick to be punitive, but who are building relationships? Who are holding these babies? Who is telling them right from wrong? And I'm talking about from the parents to the school to the community. A lot of this stuff is going unnoticed when a child is just really screaming for our attention like, do anybody care? And no one's showing that they care. We got to invest in these relationships. We got to build these relationships. How you build the relationships? Just like we doing over here on South Side right now with the charity basketball game, with the hydration situation campaign I got going on, with all of we got to start investing into our babies' relationship before punishment. Let our babies see that we are actually investing in our relationship with them. And that starts at home, but it also goes into the school, and it also took us back into the community. It has to be done. Young people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Anybody want to write that down? And I guarantee you that can be proven. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Certain children won't do certain things around certain people because they know they care. These kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. These students need trusted adults besides their parents. They also need their parents. Let's talk about it. Every child needs at least one trusted adult in their life outside of the home. Where is a teacher? Where is a coach? Where is a pastor? Where is a mentor? What are we doing? What child have you mentored? For the ones who got all the Facebook posts talking about these cellmates gone. What child have you mentored? Pastors. Well, we don't see you in the community, pastors. Where you at? And that's not calling nobody out or blaming you. I'm telling you what the solution is. Let's get out there. These children need someone who see them, someone who believe in them, someone who refuse to give up on them. Despite of. Yeah, you bad. Despite of. Yeah, you talk too much. Despite of, but you still my baby. You a little disrespectful, but you gonna come over here and get right. I'm not just gonna stop dealing with you because I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna show you. A kid don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. The second thing, we must start to address the trauma. Y'all, we must address the trauma. Many of the behaviors, many of the things we are seeing when we go down our timeline is because of trauma. Many of these behaviors way deeper symptoms of issues that we realize. A lot of this is pain. A lot of this is loss. A lot of this is abuse. A lot of this is neglect. A lot of this is violence, mental health challenges. If we only punish behavior without addressing the root causes of what we're treating the symptoms of, instead of solving problems, we're creating problems. We got to get down to the root causes of the problem. We got to understand the symptoms. What if everything we've been doing is wrong? What if? What if everything we've been doing is wrong? And if it was right, why are we not getting better results? So why not change up and do something different? Instead of being so punitive, let's be more helpful. Let's be more supportive. Let's be more understanding. And let's get down to the root causes, so we can start solving problems. We must create more pathways to success. Our kids don't know where they going. Look around. We have to create more pathways to success. We got to give them a bigger picture to look at. Not every child gonna be valedictorian. Not every child gonna be salutatorian. And not every child gonna even go to college. Some don't even want to go to college. That don't mean they don't want a successful pathway. Not every student gonna follow the same path. So we gotta start creating more successful pathways, more tangible goals, more things they realize that they can do and be successful, instead of having this mindset, oh, you ain't going to college or the military. It's way more. It's way more. And we gotta start showing these kids that there's more pathways to success. Yes, some students need college opportunities, but some need vocational training. Some need apprenticeship. Some need workforce development. Young people need to see a future, and they need to be rewarded just like you, the salutatorian or the valedictorian. It need to be honored and shown and celebrated. What if we were doing it wrong, y'all? What if everything we did was wrong? Or everything we doing is wrong? These young people need to see a future worth working toward. We have to build a stronger partnership with the schools and the communities. It has to be a partnership. It has to be a partnership. A lot of these little beefs and little things arrive in school and they comes back out in the communities. A lot of them go and start off in the communities and end up in the schools. Because there's no relationship between the two. They don't talk. They don't communicate. So a lot of stuff could be headed off if them two entities communicate. We need partnership between schools and communities. And I promise you we can head a lot of this stuff off. But a lot of stuff we see in the community, we let slide. And a lot of stuff we see in the school, we let slide. Or we just suspend or expel. No communication. Gotta talk. Gotta work together. Only way it works. Schools can't do the work alone, and parents can't do the work alone, and the community can't do the work alone, and churches can't do the work alone. But if law enforcement can't do the work alone, but if we all come together, but everybody in their own little circle, everybody doing their own little thing, and our children are falling by the wayside because we are all doing our own little thing independently instead of working together, collaborating, building team efforts to get our babies out of this trap they in. Because when school, family, church, and business, community organization, football coaches, everybody, basketball coaches, everybody in the community, once they are aligned, young people have a much greater chance, and much greater is a double negative, but I said it, a much, much greater chance of success when everybody's in line. And guess who's gonna appreciate the most? Your kids. The itty bitties. We gotta start that now. Some of y'all men out there, especially some of y'all that done been through some things. Some of y'all that done been through some things, and we don't gotta talk about all the things y'all been through, but we gotta increase mentoring opportunities. Some of these babies don't even know what they getting themselves into till it's too late. Some of these babies don't understand what they're getting into until it's too late. So if you in the South got something to say, podcast, we need to create a mentoring program. We need a mentoring program, a strong one, a solid one. We need to be down there with them babies at. Babies that'll never forget you for the rest of their life. That's what we need to be. We need to walk these babies into their school. We need to hold them babies' hand when they in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. Them babies need to see us. They need to see men being men and showing boys how to be men. I'm talking about real men walking with their pants up on their waist. That's what our babies need to see. And they need to start seeing it early. I guarantee you, if we start exemplifying that, I guarantee you, if we show that to be the example, I guarantee you that this stuff, it'll cease. You'll run all this mess out of time. But that take effort, that take time, that take investment. Research consistently shows that positive mentors can dramatically impact a young person's life. Sometimes a conversation can change a life. Sometimes encouragement changes a life. Sometimes simply showing up changes a life. We need more adults willing to pour into the next generation. Then we need to celebrate the success as much as we address the failure. Let's talk about it. We need to celebrate the success just as much as we address the failures. Too often we only hear about what they're doing wrong. When young people goes wrong, that's what we hear about. Let's celebrate academic achievement. Let's celebrate athletic achievement. Let's celebrate workforce achievement. Let's celebrate vocational rehab achievement. Let's start to celebrate instead of always looking to address the failures. Y'all want the solution? I'm giving you the answer to the test. I'm giving you the answers to the test. Let's celebrate attendance. Graduation, where they graduate from kindergarten, 8th grade, high school, college, master's, doctorate. Let's start to celebrate our babies, especially them black boys. But we need it for our black girls too. Don't doubt that they about the same. This system is designed. They building them prisons for a reason. They need bodies in them. So we gotta start celebrating positive choices. Celebrate growth. Because what gets celebrated often gets repeated. When you celebrate them, baby, they want to get celebrated again. But when you penalize them, they think that's the way. That's the only thing some of these babies know is punitive damages. What gets celebrated get repeated. And finally, we must stop asking what is wrong with our kids and start asking what happened to our kids and what can we do to help them succeed. Ain't nothing wrong with them. It's something that happened to them. And we need to figure out what we can do to help them succeed, because every child deserves a chance. Every child deserves an opportunity. And every child deserves someone who is willing to fight for their future. We can't get comfortable. We can't say this the norm. We can't say this is what it's all about. We can't accept keep going to babies' funerals. We can't accept it. Because once we accept it, that becomes what we are. We can't accept that. And that's what this Pipeline Project is about. That's what it's about. Not just exposing problems. I'm not here to expose problems, but I'm here to build solutions. Identify the challenge and create opportunities. I'm not just talking about change. I'm looking to become part of the change. I want this podcast to be part of the change. I want us to have a meeting spot on Mondays and Wednesdays or Thursdays when we come on here and we can discuss these issues and we can celebrate our babies and we can do everything right now to celebrate and honor our babies. Ain't no help coming.
Most people stuck, they just comfortable.
We got to get from being so comfortable.
They don't want to move. Dreams in their head, but they never pursue.
Each one teach one.
They scared of the truth. Most people stuck, they just comfortable. Staying the same when it's time to improve. Life don't change if you don't make a move.
Let's talk about it. Man, what a show, man.
What you gonna do? Yeah. They say they tired, but they still in the same spot. Same habits, same circles, same block.
So what we gonna do, y'all?
But they scared of the pain. Wanna shine bright, but they ducking the
Y'all
rain.
share it live, man. Share it live. Y'all get this thing circulating. We gonna be on this topic for a while now. We locked in right now. Y'all tell everybody, y'all, we having real community meetings over here on the South Got Something to Say podcast. What a show, what a show. Each one, teach one, love or be loved to the moon